Good day everyone and welcome to Intramuros. I am Zaira Nabor and I'll be guiding you through the historic streets today. As we walk, I invite you to do more than simply observe. So Intramuros is not just a collection of old walls and buildings. It is a living narrative shaped by a movement, order, community, and time. You'll notice that how we move, where we stand, even how we listen will sometimes be guided. That's intentional. Just as life inside, these walls once followed structures and rhythm, our journey today will do the same. Staying together allows the story to unfold properly. Listening carefully helps the details comes alive, and respecting spaces ensures everyone shares the experience fully. This story is not about rushing, it's about pacing, not about control, but coordination. And not just about history, but about understanding how people once lived within these walls. So, as we begin, let's move with awareness, stay connected as a group, and allow Intramuros to reveal its story step by step. As we move along this stretch, you'll notice the stones beneath your feet are uneven. That's intentional. They were designed to slow movement and reduce the force of horse-drawn traffic. Let's keep our pace relaxed here so everyone can walk comfortably and safely. If you're feeling eager to move ahead, I promise you'll pick up the pace once we reach the wider street just ahead. Right now, staying together helps everyone hear the story clearly. These sections of Intramuros once connected residential homes to administrative buildings, meaning people pass through it several times a day. The rhythm of daily life here was not rushed. It followed the pace of bells, meals, and daylight. In many ways, the designs of this street still encourage us to slow down and move as a group, just as residents once did. If someone walks ahead, you'll get a better view if you stay with us here. There's a details on these walls most people miss, and I'd hate for anyone to miss that part of the story. Intramuros was never quiet. Conversations echoed through narrow street and news traveled fast, often faster than officials' announcements. That said, a certain spaces required silence, especially near a religious institution. You'll notice how sounds carries here, even a casual conversation can travel much further than expected. So while we're in this area, let's keep our voices at a listening level. That why everyone can hear the story and we respect the atmospheres of the space. There'll be time for a question shortly, and I want to make sure we give them the attention they deserve. In the colonial period, maintaining order was not just about rules, it was about shared responsibility. People learn when to speak and when to listen. In that senses, this space still teaches us something about cooperation. Photography is a powerful way to remember places like Intramuros, but timings matters. If we pause here together for just a moment, everyone will get a clear view without blocking one another. I'll let you know when we reach a spot designed for longer photo stops. Those were actually gathering spaces even in the past. This courtyard once served as a communal area where people waited, exchanged news, and observed rituals. Here followed an unspoken order. People knew when to step forward and when to make space. That awareness allowed the community to function smoothly. That awareness allowed the community to function smoothly. Let's mirror that today. Stay slightly to the side until we pause fully. That way, the entire group benefits and no one feels rushed. You'll notice how thick these walls are. Built not just to protect from attack, but to block outside noise. Inside Intramuros, attention was meant to stay inward. People were expected to be present, aware, and responsive to their surroundings. Let's take just 30 seconds here together. Eyes off, devices down, and notice how enclosed this spaces feels. The stillness is part of the experience. Once we move on, you'll have time to capture photos or messages. But right now, this moments works best when we share. Historically, moments like this were used to reinforce community awareness. Everyone was expected to participate, not just observe. These sections of intramurals connect several key points, and while each deserves attentions, we'll focus on the most significant elements here so we can stay on schedule. If something sparks your curiosity, make a mental note. I'll happily recommend the places to explore afterward. Time mattered greatly inside the walls. Curfew were enforced, gates closed at specific hours, and being late had the real consequences. Daily life followed structure, not just flexibility. In that way, intramurals remind us that pacing is not about rushing. It's about intentional movement. So we keep our stop here brief and continue to the next area where we can spend more time exploring details comfortably. You might hear different interpretations of intramurals, and that's completely normal. A history is layered and complex. What I'm sharing is with you is based on the documented records and local scholarship. Questions are always welcome, and I encourage them, but to keep the experience smooth for everyone, let's hold detailed debates until our discussion point just ahead. Inside intramurals, authority was clearly defined, but dialogue still existed. Just in approaches spaces. That balance allows systems to function without constant disruptions. We follow a similar principles on this tour, shared learning, guided structure. Before we move on, let's bring everyone back together right here. Intramurals designed with gathering points exactly like this one. Places where people naturally regroup before continuing. Once everyone within earshot will continue. Staying connected ensures no one misses key parts of the story, especially as the next sections. It builds directly on what we've discussed. Historically, movement inside the walls depended on coordinations. People waited for one another because separations meant risk. Today, staying together simply means better experience for all. I hope you notice something beyond the walls, the stones, and the architecture. Intramurals teaches us that structures create flow, that pacing creates meaning, and that community depends on shared awareness. Centuries ago, life inside these walls was required coordination. People moved together, listening carefully, respective time, and understood their role within a larger system. Today, we practice that same principle by staying together, adjusting our pace, and sharing space. We didn't just learn about history, we experienced a small part of how it functioned. Thank you for your cooperation, your attention, and your presence. History is best understood not only by hearing it, but by moving through it together. If you have any final question, I'd be happy to answer them now. And if you'd like a recommendations for further explorations, I can gladly provide that as well. Do you have a final question?
None.
Okay, tourists, maraming salamat, and I hope Intramuros stays with you long after you leave it was.